But my experiences, I think some of the best campaigns that I run were not an HTML type ad, okay? The best that I got was doing a newsletter, an informational newsletter. I did it in plain text. Didn't get fancy with fonts, didn't get fancy with hyperlinks, didn't get fancy with graphics or images. Like I said, it was plain text. And I would have a lead off with information that I felt was relative to what my potential customer would be interested in. That's number one. And I would have about a paragraph of the story and then a hyperlink to the rest of it on my website. Okay? So I didn't put the whole thing in the body of the email. I put it on my website. So they would read a little bit and then they have to click the link. So I had that story, the lead off. Then I would have a tip and trick portion. If I knew because I was doing stuff with a CRM application, and so I would have some tips or tricks about that. And that's, and again, in a paragraph and then a link to my website there. And then finally, the final thing I would make sure I had was some type of special promotion for that particular product and a call to action. That it was good through a certain period of time, again, with a hyperlink to the rest of the advertisement. The last thing I have in my newsletter was the opt-out information. How to opt out, our phone number, all this sort of stuff. Okay? And so because I did it in plain text with no images, logos, and any of that kind of stuff, it was a very small email. And because I used my own email server to send it out, they went through fairly fast. But my point is, because I was providing something of an informational nature, I actually had people who would take my newsletter and they would forward it to a friend or a colleague and say, you should read what this guy has to say. And first thing you know, I would get calls and emails saying, how can I get on this newsletter list? How can I get that? Wow, that's awesome. And that's how I built a mail list. Now, when people wanted to be taken off my list and they wanted to unsubscribe, it was more of a manual process because I really didn't have the right tools to automate that process. Okay. But you can get a list server, and a list server can take care of things like automatic people that want removed. It can automatically maintain a database of people who want added and removed from your mailing list. If email addresses bounce, it can remove those from the mailing list and tidy everything up. One of my vendors, GFI, their Mail Essentials product, has a built-in list server in their Mail Essentials product, which is, wow, those things a while back used to cost a lot of money. And they just provide that at no charge. It comes with the application. I think that's very cool. So the very bare minimum, you want to have a mailing list server to take care of that for you, because then it automates a lot of this stuff for you and helps you stay in compliance. So I think it's a really good investment to have something like that. So we had very good success with doing a newsletter as opposed to an HTML type campaign.